we'll see Enyimba playing against Insurance of Benin. Enyimba also in the news for the wrong or for the right reason. It all depends on where you want to swing the pendulum. Yeah, no longer in charge. They've got a new man. And the man in charge, Stanley Eguma, is one of the most experienced managers in the NPFL. Is back in the dugout. This time he's going back where he's been before with Enyimba. He's been the coach of Enyimba before. Go check and you'll find out. And of course, he's going back to Aba. It's in Aba. And so the last game for the year will be in Aba between Enyimba and Insurance of Benin. But for today, there's one game, Rivers against Plateau United in Port Harcourt. Sammy is here with me in the studio. On the show also today, something, if you know the world of tennis well enough, you know that Novak and Nick Kyrgios they're not the best of friends. They don't speak well of each other. But over the weekend, these two were busy playing tennis somewhere. I'll let you have a feel of that on the show also. Yes, I know European football got you talking during the holidays. The holiday you stay here anyway for some. And you saw many games in the English Premier League. And for Liverpool Football Club, you go to London within the space of 7 days. You scored how many goals? 11, 12 now? Yeah. Against Spurs, they were hitting Spurs in London. And last night they were in London, this time the Olympic Stadium, beating West Ham by 5-0. So for Liverpool, hey, I just begin to say to myself, Arne Slot, first time in England, and yeah, he's dominating everyone. Hey, I love this world of sports. Sammy is here with me. Let's get down to business. Shooting Stars, for me, I can go on for the next 25 minutes talking about how they've been. Because if they don't do well, yeah, we come here, put on the mic, and we say the way it is. But for now, Shooting Stars, they are doing well. And everybody wants to talk. From Mustafa Lawal to Dimeji Lawal, these are the two Lawals. They all want to say something. So I'll allow you to take a listen to Mustafa Lawal, what he's got to say before I get that of Sammy, and then go back to hear more from Shooting Stars camp GM. Dimeji Lawal also will be speaking on the show today. But starting first, let's start with Mustafa Lawal. Mustafa, what is good?
Aláǹtakò Spider Mustafa Lawal ìfẹsẹ̀wọnsẹ̀ míì kì í ṣe tèmi báwo ló ṣe rí.
Inú mi dùn gidi gan mo sì dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run náà fún àlọ́lá kì í ṣe.
Àwọn èèyàn ti ń pè ní lórúkọ tó pọ̀ àwọn olólùfẹ́ ti gbà tí ní báyìí wọ́n tá bá wo iṣẹ́ takuntakun tẹ̀sí pẹ̀lú bọ́ọ̀ Shooting Stars lásìkò tá a wà yìí ó ṣe ṣe ká parí sáà àgbàlá àkọ́kọ́ yìí nípa ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì tó lọ́ọ́ máa jó níbẹ̀ délẹ̀ ó kí ní àfojúsùn yín tó gbè pín sáà.
Àfojúsùn wa ni pé a fẹ́ gbé líìgì kó yọ kálukú ṣe náà pẹ̀lú ògbó Ọlọ́run àṣìmáà débẹ̀ inshallah.
Àsìkò pẹ̀lú ṣiṣẹ́ ọdún làwà báyìí gbólóhùn kan báwo lólùfẹ́ yín tó wà.
Up shootings, up stars.
What else again do you want? That was deliberate from me and SAMIES, not English. That was in Yoruba. So you can understand the feeling of these players. You know, don't tell me why was that in English, in Yoruba. No, if you go to China, they speak Chinese. If you go to France, they do it in French. So for me, that must go. And of course, that went. So that was one man there speaking how excited he is, the team is, winning games, not conceding, and going all the way, wishing the fans a fantastic new year, and saying to them, once you also come back to watch us in the new year, we want to go get more wins. Now, the time for Dimeji Lawal to also be a start for him is about thinking of how they can get more players in. Get more players that will help them prosecute the league, do well in the league, win more games, play on the continent. I've said this so many times on this dial. That edifice there needs some continental football. Shooting Stars give the fans, the last time, the younger boys or girls who go to that stadium to watch a game ever. Maybe some of them have never even seen you guys play on the continent. They want continental football. They want to see Zamalek come play Shooting Stars. They want to see TP Mozambique come, Orlando Pirates come play there. Okay, so will you help them? But we'll wait to see. March day 38 will decide all of that. But Dimeji Lawal, what do you have for us on the show this afternoon?
First time in Nigerian Premier Football League, the football club will be playing 5 games in a month and will be winning 5 games in that particular month. How does that make you feel, sir?
Well, I feel great, and it's not unexpected because we're putting on a lot of hard work, a lot of commitment, and we remain disciplined throughout the first round, and that is the result of our commitment to the job.
So, yes, sir, we might end up being second on the log after the first 19 games. Going to the second round of the season, what are your plans going to that round?
I think we keep working out. We correct our mistakes and try to, fill our loopholes because we still need 1 or 2, 3 players here and there. We're going to look around and see the capabilities that can fit into that hole. Still very a long journey. I mean, still a very long journey. Very long. Coming from you.
All right, so that's the much you can take from the Major Lawa. Long journey, 4 stanza done almost, and then the second stanza will start. And then they said in the MPFL, if you've been around for a while, we will talk say at that time Young Good don't mature. Young Good go mature, shooting stars. When you hit that time when the other bigger boys also will be pushing for the league title. I love what the Major said. Knowing fully well that they need to go back to the drawing board, check how many players, 2, 3, 4, they need in that squad. Now, let me also make an appeal to your state government. Anything you can do to ensure the club now get good players, good. You know, Sammy was saying off back, our last Sammy weigh in a minute. He was saying how you wish that the way Shooting Stars ended last season was the way they began this season. Imagine where they will be by now. Top of the log, and the likes of Remo and the likes of Rivers will just be playing catch-up. Sammy, it's a pleasure having you on the show. Like I said, if I have to, if only, but I can, let's go on for the next 20 minutes talking about Shooting Stars, what they need to do, what they've done. Sammy, it's a pleasure having you on the show. Weigh in on this.
Definitely it's so great to be back. We know that this is the last edition of a Monday that's a Scoreboard Reloaded for the year 2024. But definitely lots of attention. My attention definitely was divided over the course of the weekend, and there were high moments. You didn't mention this. That's the Chan Eagles, but that is pardonable because of what is happening presently at home.
Yeah.
And that's about the Oluyole Warriors. I saw the results. I was not opportune to be at the stadium yesterday, but the result was one. So pleasant to me. Adams Mustafa getting that goal for us. In fact, it came on as a substitute to replace the goal poacher, that's Anthony Okachi, in that encounter, and that's in the 45th minute plus the 5th added time. He scored that goal, and that was enough to give us a maximum 3 points, which also made it our 5th straight victory. That's in the Nigeria Premier Football League for the month of December. And like I said, I wish that we continued this early stages of this season the way we ended last season. Maybe we wouldn't be at this position, or probably we would be 6-7 points ahead of Rivers United and Remo Stars, who occupy the first and second position. That's in the NPFL standing. But I think this is still good. After 18 games played in the Nigeria Premier Football League, we can say this is actually a good one for us, considering the way we started the season and how the boys were able to put everything behind them and get back to winning ways. Probably 𝐷𝐿 Ogbubote has been listening to us because every time I listen to him, he speak about patience. He wants his team. He has this particular word he uses, synergy. You let there be synergy in the team, and the team will get there. And I look at it, how much time do you want to tell the fans that you need for the team to come to part together and get the results on the field of play? But I can't say otherwise. I've been impressed with the level of performance of the Oluyole Warriors, with Adams Mustafa getting 2 goals in our last 5 games also, same as Joshua Akpan, 2 goals in our last 5 games. Anthony Okachi, who happens to be the man who a lot of people see getting the goals. He has only scored once in our last 5 games. And then the goals has probably been coming in left, right, center, defense,
to show you, Samis, before I allow you land, because I'm talking about those who have been scoring the goals for them. You know, at the point in time, I said, Shooting Stars, are they missing Christian Piagbara? But I don't think they'll look back and say they are missing him. You've got those goals coming at plenty in the month of December. And one thing you have not mentioned, Sammy, maybe you're going to get to that point, is not conceding.
Yeah, I was going to mention that because I think that was the more reason why we played Lawal Mustafa's voice in Yoruba, because he happens to be the one that has steadied the ship also. He has been in goal for most of Shooting Stars' games this season, and with him not conceding in our last 5 games. And that can stretch to him conceding just twice in our last 8 games. So that's actually a good one for Lawal Mustafa also, who has been in goal. And the level of performance from the defense line, I've tried to actually put things together and look at the solid defense line we've had. Lawal Mustafa, one of them, yes. 𝐂𝐿 𝐒𝐿 is one of them also. And then we look at Delay. I look at all of these guys. I think all of them, they've actually formed that partnership at the defense line and marshaled the team to greatness. You know, if you can't beat them, you join them. And I think for Shooting Stars now, if you can't score, don't concede. If you can outscore your opponent, just ensure that you don't concede. And we look at the results we've had in our last games. 1-0, 2-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. And that's actually fair enough for the Oluyole Warriors. And I hope the second half of the season can go on so bright for us, where we can get maximum points and maybe talk about continental football. Last season, we were dreaming about it, not until 2 matches before the end of the season. And it happened that we didn't go. And I think it was 𝐿 Warriors who won the Confederation Cup. The Federation Cup, which gave them the automatic slot to play on the CAF Confederation Cup. But what happened? They didn't even qualify for the group stages of the CAF Confederation Cup. So, Oluyole Warriors, let's see if they can get things right and go on and play on the continent next season. Probably, maybe we think of the title too early, but make it stage by stage. Qualify for continental places first, and then next season, maybe we can say we won the title. Life is a process.
Yeah, indeed. And when SAMIES was talking the other time, he said he's going to pardon me for not talking about the Chan Eagles. Yeah, Shooting Stars is the way your team playing at home will get the job done, and then you'll be so excited that some other bigger things also happen. Of course, over the weekend also, Ghana have a way of denying us Chan, deny us World Cup. And those boys with in their head thinking that they will come to Uyo and deny us Chan. But it was the home-based Eagles who some of them left their club and go play for the national team. They got the job done in the first 45 of that game. 3-0. The Ghanaians pulled one back in the second half. One wasn't good enough. They needed 2 more to end the game 3 apiece and then qualify on the away goal. But hey, we knew what we wanted. Daniel and Fidelis knew what Nigerians wanted. How do you wrap up the year 2024? You must be on a winning note. How do you wrap up the year beating your rival, Ghana? So, job done. We'll wait to see what the NFF will be talking about. Yes, I know, message from the NFF, congratulating the boys, wishing them well, but we know that plan must start. According to Daniel Ogumodede, the one who was standing in for us in the Gravon, saying plan must start. And one other thing that bothers me, Sammy, is that some of these boys who prosecuted these 2 doubleheaders against the Galaxies of Ghana, if care is not taken, by the time we go to Chan next year, some of them would have been out of the country. That's the thing with the Chan thing. So, a bit of worry. I'm hoping that both Daniel and Fidelis understand the legal journey around the league. And of course, Austin Eguavon, if he's still in charge of the Eagles one way or the other, they might just find a way to ensure they have a pool of players. A pool. So that when anyone leaves, you just get a replacement for the team. So, because we don't want to go to Chan again and just go make up the numbers. Last time they were playing the final. We've not been there for 6 years. But I'm happy that we're back now.
Well, it's so great to see us that qualify for the tournament that's set to be co-hosted Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda. And that's actually a good one. Kudos to Daniel Ogumodede and Fidelis Lechuku, what they've done. And I saw that video clips where Ogumodede was welcomed to in a heroic way. Yeah. That was yesterday after he gathered the team on Saturday to that 3-1 victory. And in his words, he said that was the early Christmas gift to Nigerian football can give Nigerian football fans. And yes, I buy into that. Let's go to that tournament. At least we've gotten one over Ghana now. If you look at the recent years, how Ghana, they've been our boogie team. And now we've gotten one over them. And I hope that will also continue or propel other Nigerian, will I say, football teams or sports teams to get better.
Let me help that propel. I hope what these home-based Eagles they've done against the Galaxies of Ghana, that the Super Eagles team, we know that is a sign of good things to come. It's not been the best of qualification games for the World Cup. Mm-hmm. So we're hoping in the month of March, they will say, you know what, these home-based Eagles don't bring good tidings. Yeah. Our game from the month of March, this should propel us to go ahead and win. Nigerians are talking about the home base Eagles, what they did against Ghana. We too must start doing ours. So that's the message for me to the main Super Eagles team. They say it's the main Super Eagles team, but hey, it is what it is, what they say now. All right, so let's move on because of our time. And over the weekend, I talked about games were played in England, not just in England, there were also games in Italy. But for Germany, for Spain, for France, they take some moment out to go enjoy Christmas. But football will be back in those leagues in a matter of days. So talking about managers that have gone as we speak, AC Milan last night was watching at home. They play against Roma at home. And Paulo Fonseca, the Portuguese coach, was told by the referee, hey man, you have to leave because you're complaining too much. You're making me lose focus. And so he went off. At that point in time, it was 1 apiece. And Samuel Chukwueze, SAMIES, was having a fantastic game yesterday. He got injured and could not continue the game. Lo and behold, after the game, a few minutes later, AC Milan came up with a statement to say Paulo Fonseca is gone. A Portuguese is gone. A Portuguese replaced him. The former coach of Porto, 𝐶𝐈𝐒, is now the new head coach of AC Milan. So you see, while you guys were busy enjoying Christmas, some managers were under the hot soup. Lopetegui, maybe still have a job for now, but yesterday, hey, he was beaten blue and black by Liverpool. So maybe a matter of days for him also before he gets sacked. But for now, he's still in charge of the Hammers. So SAMIES, the job is about hiring and firing. AC Milan done with their coach. They look back and say, yes, they've got some fantastic coach before now. Max Allegri helped them to win the league. Stefano Pioli also helped them to win the league. Paulo Fonseca, come on, didn't do well. But for 𝐶𝐈𝐒 was coming in, the former Porto coach, he's won the league in Portugal before. So he's just waiting to see if he can help AC Milan. Struggling in the league. You can't see it Inter Milan winning games. A club you both share the same facility with in Milan. You see Atalanta and Bergamo doing well. You see Lazio doing well. Juventus, I don't want to say they're doing well because they also didn't get a win in that game earlier in the day. So for AC Milan, good or bad for them to have a new coach, or you think that's still a beat with Paulo Fonseca?
When Fonseca came on board, he had his own targets and all of that. But then I would say that the issues surrounding AC Milan, it can be traced back to the past. How these teams, they've struggled financially and all of that. Yes, they had the glory days where we talk about those early years, the 1990s and all of that. But then we look at Inter Milan, AC Milan, or most of the Italian sides. How many of them can boast of that financial ability? Do they have that money to spend? Can they contend with the big boys in England, in Spain, to buy players? In France, I think we only have one team in France that can actually lavish such money, and that's Paris Saint-Germain. But you look at most of these Italian sides, and for AC Milan, who won the title in the year 2019-20 season when Pioli won the title with them, and I look at it, why can't this team continue with what they've done? It is difficult. You see other teams now, they get players, some of the best legs, and then you see them. Look at Inter Milan. They still have most of those players that have played with them six years ago. Some of them are there. You look at Juventus, they are trying to rebuild, but that rebuild process is coming at a cost for them. Yeah. You look at Napoli, and they've actually had their own rebuild process. And what they are trying to do is steadying the ship, go season after season, and see the results that they can buy at the end of the season. Then you look at other club sides. AS Roma, really, AS Roma has even been far from it. Mourinho went there. He won a European trophy for them. Yeah. But then, in their league, how did they perform? Did they finish in the top 2? That's another question. Because how do you contend with all of these things? You are not buying those. I have an issue with Italian football generally. I look at it, they don't buy in some of the youthful legs. They make use of the old legs in Italian football. And you tell me when was the last time an Italian team won the UEFA Champions League? It's been a while.
2007.
When was the last time?
2007.
Then you look at the teams that have been winning the UEFA Champions League.
And it's the same as Milan I'm talking about that won the last UEFA Champions League.
Exactly. Then you look at how do you contend? Make your league, change your own ideology, your mindset, your setup
but maybe,
about all of these
maybe
things.
I should just play a card.
And maybe wrong recruitment also.
Maybe let me just quickly chip this in. Bar Juventus Football Club, the only team in Italy that I know, I don't know, maybe there's one I'm missing out, that have got their own stadium. the others don't have. The Roma don't have the Olympico. It's being shared by Lazio. Yeah, it's belonging to the States. Milan belongs to the States.
It's an Olympic stadium, actually.
So you begin to count every one of them. Bergamo, it's just been owned by, maybe you call it a county, or let me just put the word state that I know of. So they don't really own. So that's why you see Juventus can go ahead and spend a whole lot of money. Remember how much they got Dusan Vlahovic from Fiorentina. That was no small money. They had the club as we speak right now. They can go to the market and put 100 million euros on the table and sign a few players. But for AC, for Inter Milan, alliance that they're still trying to see how they can get approval to get their own stadium ready. But for now, so when you have all of this happening, Sammy, it's always difficult for you to want to splash the money. The clubs you see in England, if not every one of them, they've got their own facility they're making use of. But for, like you talk about AC Milan, you check the Italian league, and that's where you see a league where you have about 35, 36 playing football. I know that other leagues also, we've got we have over 40 man playing the league.
But
that's
you look at
league.
Italian football. Okay, now, if you can actually make it count, look at Inter Milan. You will see, let's say, 2, 3, 36, 35-year-old players playing there. Look at AC Milan. You would see. Look at Atlanta. You would see. But there's a
maybe I little disagree with you in terms of the AC Milan, because for AC Milan, from the goalkeeper Marc Mayon, is not that old man. Fikayo Tomori is not old man. Theo Hernandez is not that old man.
That's what I'm saying. They are trying to rebuild.
Yeah.
But it's coming at a cost for some of those teams.
Okay.
Look at Inter Milan. Are they doing the rebuild? No. They're not doing the rebuild. But when that time comes for them to do the rebuild, they are going to pay the price.
All right. So we'll wait to see what price Inter will pay for now. AC Milan, they've paid one. The manager is gone. They've got a new man. Zlatan is part of the guys running the show behind the scene. He wants to get AC Milan playing. He wants to get AC Milan leading. He wants to get AC Milan win Scudetto, get them playing in the UEFA Champions League and win the UEFA Champions League. He never won the UEFA Champions League. Talking about Zlatan. Let's talk about some tennis this afternoon before we wrap up the show in a few minutes from now. Let's take you straight to Brisbane in Australia, where we'll be having the first Grand Slam of the year in the year 2025. That will be the 𝐒𝐲𝐶 Open. But let's go straight to there and see what Nick Kyrgios and Novak were doing in terms of playing in the doubles together. Nick never liked Novak. He doesn't speak well of him, but this is tennis.
Exhibition event.
Good volley. Good out.
What a game I played, huh?
So you see what it means, sports. These two don't love each other. Let's wrap up the show. SAMIES will help us with games tonight in England, in Nigeria, and of course in Italy.
Well, all right. We have games set to go down in the English Premier League. Aston Villa also definitely they'll be looking to get back on track again, where they face off against Uzalas, Brighton, and Hove Albion. And for Ipswich Town, well, a lot of people have seen this game as the one where Chelsea can roll over Ipswich Town.
Would they not?
Well, we don't know. On paper, who could have expected Ipswich to go to the Emirates Stadium and concede just one goal?
But they lost.
But they lost, yes. And then the one probably everyone will also want to see again, Manchester United against Newcastle in the English Premier League.
All right, 2 games in Italy.
Well, in Italy, we have Como against that's Lecce there in the Italian Serie A, and Verona will be up against Verona, and in the Nigeria Premier Football League. Rivers United, in 2 minutes from now, they'll be playing against Plateau United in the Nigeria Premier Football League. So it's still that festive season of games we are in. Football never runs dry this season. And we are enjoying every bit of it.
Not just football, I'm also taking time to watch some tennis as we prepare for the first Grand Slam in the year 2025. Toba is there for the news for 4. We'll see you guys again on Tuesday morning, 7:45 for Scoreboard in 15. I am Peter Omo and it's SAMIES.